Hi, welcome to Adventures in Bonsai. Today we're going to transplant my favorite Fukien Tea. It's a big one and it needs a little bit of work here. Let's go take a look. I've had this Fukien Tea for about 14 years and it was kind of oldish when I got it. As you can see, it's overgrown, needs a major trim, and the reason I'm doing this is because I don't like the pot it's in. I got this nice pot to transplant it into. The tree itself is a very interesting tree, great trunk, and it does really well in the sphagnum moss. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, let's take this out and see what we got. I see the ants crawling around. Could be full of ants, just not sure. Well, it's not full of ants, but it certainly is full of roots. Okay, this is going to work out just fine. I'm going to cut a big chunk of this off and take a lot of the corresponding upper foliage off, and it should do just fine. If I can get rid of this artillery fern here, these little weeds that grow up, that'll also be good too. Okay, back to work. Now this plant is so big and unwieldy that it's one of those that I'm going to start to clip first so I can handle a little bit better. And basically I'm taking off all this long stuff and everything that's going upwards is coming off. Okay, I'll be back. Well, to me it's looking better already now that I gave it a quick trim. And I cut off other branches that were just ready to have some new growth come out of them. Now we're going to work on the sphagnum moss that came off of there. And these are very easy to root. All you got to do is cut off most of the leaves and put them in some sphagnum moss. I think every one of my many Fukien Teas is derived from this tree and from cuttings. Give it a try. They work pretty easily. You just got to get the first one. That's the problem. I'm going to take off about an inch of this tangled mass of roots. It's very simple. You just cut through them, and there you go. Okay. I put a nice pad of sphagnum moss in here. I'm going to take the tree, figure out how we want it to be situated. Not that it matters. It's a round pot. I can turn it later. Let's see what the story is here. I gotta make a little bit of room in here. Okay, that looks good to me. I want to start putting sphagnum moss in. I find the best way to do it in a plant like this is to do opposite sides first. That way there's equal pressure on each side. It kind of holds it in place for you. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I have it sitting in the sphagnum moss, but it's not really held in well by the sphagnum moss. It still has a little looseness to it. So when I put it back on the shelf, I'm going to make sure the bungee cords come over each side to hold it down until the roots can grow in to the sphagnum moss, and then it will be much more solid. Now, Dutch 803 on YouTube invented this tool to push in the sphagnum moss, which is great for straight edges. It also seems to work pretty well here. I went and got a spoon at a local store and cut off the end of it so you could do pots that are round. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is just clean up the edges here. Okay, now I'm going to do some more trimming here. This stuff inside here, the internal portions that have leaves growing, like over here, I want to cut that out and try to give these some canopies. What I'm doing here is I'm cutting off leaves that are close to the main branches so we get a better view of the structure of the tree and its shape. So I'm just cutting out anything that's really close to where a branch comes off, and I want to see them. I want to see what they're doing. Fukien Teas are from China. They're used as a hedge over there, and they grow these nice little flowers, and it's really a great tree for bonsai. When I see a branch like this with a piece of dead wood sticking out, basically what I want this branch to do is to come up here and then shoot out that way. So I'm just going to take off this piece of dead wood. Here's something else you're going to run into with your plants, and that's branches that cross each other. Sometimes you just don't want that, and I don't want that here. So what I'm going to do is I see that there's a branch, a possible branch that might come out this way, so that's where I'm going to clip this one off at. And try and redirect its growth. I'm going to shorten this one here up a little. And this one here, I'm also going to just shorten up. Okay, and I'll continue going on and cleaning up the branches. Okay, I've pretty much gotten it the way I want. For now, it's going to grow back all the stuff we cut off, and we cut off a lot. Okay, but now at least I can see what's going on inside, the branch structure, and I can watch these little canopies start to develop, and by trimming them at the right times, I can make them into nice little puffball kind of things. So let's go take a look at something else while we're here. Okay, I mentioned cuttings before, and what I'm doing here is I have 3 pots that had cuttings in them that didn't take. They're filled with sphagnum moss already. I'm just going to take this here, and I see that it's got a side branch up here, so I want that to be part of this plant. So I'm going to cut this off right around there. Then I'm going to go and cut off a lot of the leaves, because there's no root system here that can support all these leaves at this time. But it still needs some leaves on it. So I'll cut that a little short, cut that a little short. I'm going to cut this one here off. And just cut off some more of this stuff here. And that's probably enough, as these really take well to the sphagnum moss. Just stick it in, press it down, and it's set. Likewise for this one, it's got a lot of interesting things going on right in this area here. So that's the area I'm going to want to save. I'm going to cut this thing off right about there. Now I'm just going to cut off these extra leaves here that I don't want. Maybe even shorten up some of these side branches a little. They need the leaves to do their photosynthesis, so you don't want to cut all the leaves off, although you probably could, because the plant would know that it needs some new growth, and plants may be smarter than you think. Stick this one here in the pot, put it down, push it down, there you go. And the third one had a little thing coming out of the bottom already, so we'll keep this one small, just see what happens with it. I'm going to take off some of these leaves. Now the fact that this is not going in as deep may be a problem. It's only going in a little way here before that side branch comes out. And that's as easy as it is to make cuttings from a Fukien Tea. Very simple, and these really do well. Like I said, I have many Fukien Teas, and they're all children of the one we just saw get cut. So have fun with your bonsai.